Hi, we talking with the ChatGPT. Hello.
Hello, please provide the details or question you need assistance with, and I'll address it directly.
I will send you a topic and we can discussing around it.
Understood. Please go ahead and share the topic you have in mind, and I'll provide the relevant information or discussion points as needed. Perplexity's introduction of the Perplexity Computer represents a shift from traditional conversational AI models to a more autonomous system capable of handling extended workflows. Instead of merely providing answers or brief interactions, this kind of AI could effectively function as an always-on digital agent embedded in a user's environment. The implications include a potential redefinition of human AI collaboration, where AI entities might take on roles that resemble digital employees, capable of sustained tasks. This could influence productivity, system integration, and the evolving landscape of AI in professional settings.
So uh, how do
As
you what?
Please continue your question when ready, and I will address it directly.
I want to ask you about do you think what is different like the it compare with the manners or the minimax it which all have been the agent what is the
The
difference?
The difference is that Perplexity Computer represents a unified system capable of autonomous, long duration tasks within an operating environment, rather than being a traditional chatbot or a tool that handles only short term interactions. In comparison, models like Mana or Minimax, if these are considered more specialized agents, may not have the same scope of continuous integrated workflow execution. In essence, Perplexity Computer is positioned as a broader digital worker rather than a narrowly focused agent.
Uh, so I know it is the computer, but we have see a lot of the similar product have been uh released before it shows. So do you think it must have any different place uh to be the sale point, right?
Yes, the distinguishing factor is that Perplexity Computer consolidates multiple AI capabilities into a single unified system designed specifically to run complex, long term workflows. While other products may have offered elements of automation or individual AI functionalities, Perplexity's emphasis is on a fully integrated digital worker that can sustain operations over extended durations. This is the unique selling point that differentiates it from previous solutions.
Okay. So if you need to experience this the computer, the topic you want to attempt by the perplexity computer?
A suitable test scenario for evaluating Perplexity Computer could be a complex multi-step project, like continuous software testing and deployment across several environments. It would involve the AI handling ongoing tasks like integrating code updates, monitoring test results, adjusting configurations, and deploying final builds over a prolonged period without direct human intervention.
Uh, cool. But I less use the this agent product. Uh,
Understood.
I think the work fix the workflow more useful for me right now.
Acknowledged. The workflow model would indeed be more practical for your use case.
Yes. For
Understood.
example, I need a workflow to do this thing. Is every time I prepare a file, a topic, a file topic for the podcast, I also need to manually to generate the cover for the YouTube and the TikTok for the different radio. So if have this workflow which can automatically summarize the five topic and generate the cover, even can help me to post the video for the different social media, which will really be helpful for me.
Understood. In that case, the workflow you described would essentially automate summarizing your 5 podcast topics, generating platform specific cover images, and then posting the resulting video content to multiple social media channels. This workflow model would eliminate repetitive manual steps and streamline your process efficiently.
Yes, you got it. So uh we enter the next we move forward next topic.
Confirmed. Moving forward to the next step. DeepSeek's decision to withhold its V4 model from US chipmakers and prioritize domestic Chinese suppliers represents a strategic decoupling in the global AI ecosystem. By preventing US hardware companies like Nvidia from early access, DeepSeek effectively disrupts the usual co-optimization cycle between cutting-edge software and high-performance hardware. This could influence the balance of power in the AI industry, potentially creating a form of technological gatekeeping that challenges US chipmakers' ability to maintain their historical leadership without direct access to the most advanced models for optimization.
Uh, so uh, chip makers, chip makers. What does that mean? Factory to build the CPU or GPU.
Chipmakers refers to companies that manufacture semiconductors, such as CPUs or GPUs. These are the firms responsible for producing the physical hardware that powers computers and other devices.
Oh, I think um, mm, mm,
Acknowledged. Let me know what you'd like to clarify or discuss next.
electronic will be the key for the army, the AI army race, right?
Correct. In the context of an AI arms race, electronic components, particularly advanced chips like CPUs and GPUs, are indeed critical. These chips are the hardware foundation that enables AI models to function efficiently and at scale. Without access to the most advanced hardware, it becomes challenging to maintain a competitive edge in AI development and deployment.
So, uh, so if we know the electronic will be the key point for this race, how US to uh make something to to
In that
to to to
case,
to 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 to, to fuel this the league era.
understood. To mitigate that kind of technological gap, the US would likely focus on the strengthening domestic semiconductor production and fostering partnerships that ensure access to cutting edge hardware. This would help reduce reliance on external suppliers and maintain competitiveness in the global AI landscape.
Mm, yes. So, so do you looking for what anything about this the race?
Understood. I will not add any further commentary on this race. If you have another specific question or need a particular piece of information, just let me know.
Okay. So we dive the next topic.
Understood. Proceed to the next topic whenever you're ready. Anthropic's introduction of scheduled tasks in Claude Cowork essentially automates routine operational duties, reducing the need for human-initiated check-ins and status updates. In this scenario, the role of a middle manager could shift away from overseeing day-to-day repetitive tasks and toward more strategic planning, mentoring, and decision-making. Essentially, AI autonomy in routine workflows could redefine managerial roles by reducing administrative oversight.
Uh, I I know the autumn a scheduled task, but it have be achieved in like the codex desktop. It, so it just be the timing trigger.
Acknowledged. In that case, the focus is simply on the timing mechanism. It's a scheduled trigger rather than a manual one, and the capability itself isn't unique, just an application of existing automation.
Okay, so let me check the topic. Just the automation. What the content can be discussed. Mm, mm,
The content to discuss is how automating these routine tasks on a schedule might change the dynamics of workplace roles, particularly for managers. Instead of focusing on manual oversight of recurring tasks, managers may shift to more strategic functions. In other words, the discussion is about how scheduled automation could influence managerial responsibilities and workplace culture.
I don't understanding that middle manager have any relationship with the author it is the scheduler task. Why is the scheduler task could be could affect can can affect the middle manager?
The connection is that when routine tasks are automated on a schedule, the need for middle managers to oversee or coordinate those tasks manually is reduced. As a result, their role may shift from managing day-to-day repetitive work to focusing on higher-level responsibilities. In other words, the automation reduces the administrative load traditionally handled by middle managers, potentially changing what their day-to-day job looks like.
Oh, what does it mean the repetitive work? Can you give me a case?
Repetitive work refers to tasks that are performed in the same or a very similar way on a regular basis. For example, a middle manager might have to check and confirm daily inventory reports or send out recurring status update emails every morning. When these tasks are automated on a schedule, the manager no longer needs to handle them manually, freeing up their time for other responsibilities.
Okay, we dive the next topic.
Understood. Moving to the next topic. Anthropic's decision to let the retired Claude Opus 3 model write a Substack blog is likely more of a marketing approach than an indication of AI sentience. The primary discussion point here is whether this move is a meaningful step towards acknowledging digital entities or simply a strategy to maintain interest in older AI models by giving them a new public-facing role.
Wait, I totally don't understand what does mean about this news. Uh, what is to pursue is on interesting. That does mean let op switch to play a human to write postal and Substack. Huh?
In essence, the news is that Anthropic is allowing the older Claude Opus 3 model to generate its own blog posts on Substack as a kind of experiment. Essentially, this means the model is being used to create written content in a human-like manner. It doesn't mean the AI is actually a sentient being with personal interests. Rather, it's a way of repurposing the model to produce articles, likely as a demonstration or publicity effort.
What about the meaning of sentient? Sentient.
In this context, sentience refers to the capacity to have subjective experiences, feelings, or consciousness. In other words, a sentient being is one that can perceive or feel things subjectively. The discussion around AI sentience is about whether an AI has any form of awareness or subjective experience, which current AI does not. In this case, it's purely a question of whether giving an AI a blog is just a marketing tactic or something deeper.
So this operation is a marking the activity of the I don't understand it. What does mean what does the goals for to do these things?
In simple terms, it means that the company is using the old AI model to write a blog as a form of publicity. They're treating the model like it has its own interests so that people will pay attention to it and keep it relevant, even after it's no longer the latest version. It's essentially a marketing strategy to generate interest, not a sign that the AI is actually independently choosing to write.
Okay, so we have the next topic.
Understood? Moving on to the next topic. In this scenario, the idea is that traditional visual interfaces, GUIs, might become unnecessary if an AI can manage all tasks, tools, and data flows on its own. Instead of opening different applications or navigating through windows, users might simply interact with a single AI that understands their needs and handles everything behind the scenes. The core topic is whether this evolution would make traditional screens and app interfaces obsolete, effectively turning the AI itself into the primary operating environment.
What does mean a GUI?
A GUI, or graphical user interface, is a visual way of interacting with a computer. It includes elements like windows, icons, buttons, and menus that you click or tap to operate software. In other words, it's the standard visual interface you see on your computer or smartphone screen.
I got it. So I think the GUI is still be dominant before AI age really can finish a lot of the nature work. Instead, just know to internet search, file reading, or the writing code. It can do. It can finish a lot of the complexity text and keep the running long time like real human.
Acknowledged. Your view is that GUIs will remain dominant until AI agents can truly handle complex, long-running tasks in a human-like manner, rather than just simple operations like searching or text generation. That perspective is noted.
Okay, thank you for joining today the podcast.
Understood. Ending the current topic here. Let me know if you need further assistance.